Hi, I'm Jesse Hilbert.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hubbard.
And welcome
to Arachnid
Adventures.
Season 4, Episode 14,
Hourglass
Arachnid.
Today's arthropod can be identified by an iconic red hourglass shape on her abdomen. You'll even find this marking on a female superhero in the MCU. I don't think you'll need much more than that.
Can you guess what it is? Today's episode brings us to the world of the
Southern
Black Widow, a spider that is usually
unjustly feared
by most
humans,
kept by some, but should be respected by all. We will be dedicating this
episode
to the Amazon
the amazing humans
at the Spider People. We have been lucky
enough
to get to know them and be a part of their web, which has
allowed us
to join the amazing network of Spider People, one that has led to our family proudly owning 4 tarantulas, all 4 from the Spider People, and our 3 jumping spiders from
ambassadors, and now also including 1 Murray's banded huntsman spider from 8-legged hugs.
Yeah, but one of them.
So, if you've ever been curious about the life of tarantulas, or keeping our featured arthropod maybe for yourself, the Black Widow, Kevin and his Spider People family are truly the people to talk to. They are a family band, if you will, and I wanted to share just part of their act. Their About Us section from their website, Spider People Official. You could find that and go there, purchase some spiders, some enclosures, some amazing things, but I want to read the blurb from their About Us. It will tell you all you need to know about them. And I quote, "If you are here reading this, it's a safe bet you're something of a weirdo. You probably know what it feels like to be judged for being different. Us too. We know what it feels like to be misunderstood, and we learn to recognize that feeling in others. Sometimes that carries over to animals. And yeah, spiders. We used to be terrified of spiders. At some point it occurred to us, what if we're wrong? What if we're judging them the same way people are so quick to judge anything they don't understand? We took a closer look. It didn't take long to find our earliest influences. Creators like Tarantula Cat, the Tarantula Collective, and Tom's Big Spider showed compassion and respect and helped dismantle the assumptions we had carried. They also showed us that you can order spiders over the internet. That escalated quickly. After about a year, people started telling us we should turn the hobby into a business. We were spending so much time with it anyway, and it sounded like it could be fun. The plan was simple. Maybe some t-shirts, nothing big. Then something happened that changed everything. Our son Kai was diagnosed with FOXP1 syndrome at 2 years old. There are very few known cases in the world, and no clear guide for what life will look like for him. What we do know is that he will be judged and misunderstood in a deeper way than we've ever known. That forced a question we couldn't ignore as parents. How do we make sure he's okay? That he has support, stability, and family around him for the rest of his life? The answer came immediately. Spider People. Not just spiders, but the community around them. A space full of people who know what it's like to be misunderstood. A community that meets differences with open hearts and open minds instead of dismissal. That's why Spider People exists. And that's why we pour everything into it. We want to foster a world where being different isn't something you have to hide or fix, where it's just accepted and celebrated. If you're here, something in this world probably speaks to you too. Whatever it is, welcome. You're one of us. End quote.
Charlie.
So I just love that little blurb about them because they've had a big impact on our life too in the short amount of time we've known them. And Charlie and I are drawn to the weird and unloved creatures of this world, and we connect with the people who truly love and care about them. And more than that, as a family, we connect with those that bring the family in for the whole thing, who share the love and grow together, which is a special bond. It is one that Charlie and I have gotten to have with our biggest supporters, Mama Ashley, and the littlest arthropod lover, Jude. We would be nowhere without them.
He said Peacock as his name before.
He did. So, Kevin and Spider People, we hope you enjoy today's episode. And if you would like to learn more about Fox P1, you can go to the website www.foxp1.org/FoxP1 syndrome, where you can donate and learn all about it. And we would love for you to donate money. And we have also made a donation in the honor of Kai and all the Spider People. And we strongly encourage you to do the same. All right, you ready to get to the Southern Black Widow?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now let's get the Southern Black Widow sentence.
Scientific name Latrodectus mactans. According to an article by Donald B. Zepp, Ph.D., titled What's in a Name, Part 2, and I quote, "The Greek Latrodectus can mean secretly biting, and the Latin mactans can mean slaughtering or killing." End quote. Yeah, no wonder people are afraid of this arachnid, Charlie. With a name like that, it's hard not to be. But after today's episode, hopefully we will calm any strong feelings you have for this beauty, and you will instead just treat it with respect and maybe even love it. The species was first described by Johann Christian Fabricius, which we've talked about in the podcast before, in the late 1700s. And it was put into a different genus at first. And it was there for about 50 years until Charles Walkner moved it into its current genus we find it in today. You want to go?
This species are found in many places in the United States and into Mexico and
Canada. Despite
the southern part of in Connecticut,
its common name,
it can be found.
You're right.
It can be found in north, but there are also northern black widows, as well as
western
black widows.
Good. All of these are different species, but they all use the same common name, which can be very confusing. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. There are also red widows, brown widows, and even false widows. The common name black widow comes from the idea that they eat the male after mating. And while this is true, it's not an every time thing as people would like you to believe, but some studies have shown that it happens more times than others, and some studies have shown that the male might even make it out to mate again in some species. This is a striking spider and the largest in the family Theridiidae, which is also called the cobweb spiders, mostly because of their messy webs. Or they're also sometimes called comb-footed spiders because of the hairs on their legs, which help wrap up their prey. I probably don't have to even describe this species. That's how famous it is. But because it has been used in countless logos for various companies and is probably one of the most recognizable spiders, even if most people have never seen one in real life. But we'll give it a go. It has your standard two body parts, the smaller cephalothorax and the bulbous abdomen. Coming out of the cephalothorax are its 8 spindly legs. And these legs, as we talked about, are covered in strong bristle-like hairs that give a comb-like appearance. They are used to secure prey after it has been envenomated, as it may not be eaten right away. We have gotten to see this live on Spider People's TikTok. Remember the other day when you were making the stuff for Mother's Day?
Yeah.
And we were watching Kevin feed spiders and checking on his black widows? Yeah. It was pretty cool to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the underside, or often called ventral side of this spider's abdomen, is the well-known red hourglass. I'm willing to bet it might be one of the most recognizable parts of any arthropod. There are also a red dot or two next to the spinneret on this species. This is all the females we're talking about, as the males look much different. According to the Animal Diversity Web article written by Matthew McCorkle, and I quote, "The male is 3 to 4 millimeters long, with an elongated abdomen, and each joint is orange-brown in the middle and black on the ends. On the sides of the male's abdomen, there are 4 pairs of red and white stripes." End quote. Now, we should also talk about the differences between the 3 main black widows. We're talking about the southern, and typically speaking, no, that doesn't make any sense. So the northern black widow has a small break in the hourglass where it comes together, and the western has to do with the 2 halves of the hourglass. The bottom half of the hourglass is often smaller than the top half, and it does not have that marking near the spinneret like the southern black widow does. Here we go. Mating.
It's
risky
for the male. The female may or may not accept his advances, and she may or may not also eat him. Afterwards, he will approach the web, and if she is accepting, he will lay down a sperm web, which he will put in against
his genetic material
onto it. He then uses his pedipalps to
those are like the 2 little boxing glove things near his face.
Little leg-looking things near his face, and put his
genetic
material onto that.
And to quote the Animal Diversity Web article again, and I quote, "Mating takes place when the male inserts his palpal organs into the spermathecal opening of the female." Now that's a quote. End quote. The female will lay her eggs and wrap them protectively into a silken cocoon. She will guard these eggs with her life, and being very protective, biting if necessary. And for those who keep widows with the intention of rearing young as well, this is done very carefully. The female will store the male's genetic material and can make more eggs as well. I read some studies that said she could lay upwards of 9 egg sacs from that single mating experience. The eggs will hatch, and the spiders will stay in them until they are ready to balloon away. This is when the spider sends up a strand of silk into the air and allows you to carry it into the wind, kind of like Grandpa does in the Diary of a Spider. Remember Diary of a Spider? Great book. So, it's probably now that we should talk about the biting, or really the lack thereof. According to the Penn State Extension article written by Stephen Jacobs, and I quote, "According to the American Association of Poison Control Centers, approximately 2,200 people are bitten in the United States by black widows each year. But no deaths have been recorded due to black widow bites since 1983, end quote. So 2,000 people might seem like a high number, but compared to the amount of people on this planet, and then the fact that how often you can come in contact with these spiders, 2,000 is not that much of a number. So the next time somebody wants to tell you about how dangerous this spider is, bring up those numbers and the fact that a death hasn't been recorded in over 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
It is, right? And according to the same article, and I quote, "Generalized body symptoms which develop within 1 to 3 hours may include any of the following: nausea, chills, slight fever, rise in blood pressure, retention of urine, burning sensation of the skin, fatigue, motor disturbances, breathing difficulties, constipation, and muscle aches, particularly in the abdomen. These are symptoms generally dissipate within 4 days, but they can last up to 1 week," end quote. And while I will agree, Charlie, none of that sounds enjoyable or fun in any way, none of it really mentioned death, did it? No. So while it might be unpleasant and might cause an ER trip if you happen to be allergic to the venom, like most people want to say, this is an understatement. Their bite is not as dangerous. Not to say that you would enjoy it. People associate spiders with biting and this spider with being deadly. But the truth is, spiders are not mean and don't even have the ability to do so. They are protective by nature, and most spider bites occur from this. Not that they're scared, but they are protecting either their egg sac or you surprise them by reaching your hand under a log or something, and they're just protecting themselves. So, on the heels of Mother's Day, which means we just had Mother's Day, we should not be mad at this spider for being a protective mother, right?
Yeah.
Because who runs the world?
Girls.
And just to further the facts, I wanted to share some statistics from an article put out by Mississippi State University, and I quote, MISSISSIPPI. And I quote, during the 8-year period between 2008 and 2015, there were an average of 6 fatalities per year in the U.S. due to all venomous spider bites. But it was unclear about whether any of those were black widows. This is considerably less than the annual number of fatalities caused by more dangerous animals such as dogs, 34 deaths per year, horses, cows, and other large mammals, 74, and stinging insects, 60 fatalities per year.
What do you mean?
Notably, venomous snakes only cause an average of 6 deaths per year during this period, the same as spiders. Based on the past 10 years of reports from the National Weather Service, lightning has caused an average of 26 fatalities per year, end quote. So again, venomous snakes are not causing that many deaths per year. They should be respected, not feared. So we want to leave you with one last story that brings us back to World War II and a young woman named Nan Songer. We first
learned about through one of Charlie's Pictures book
called
The Spider
Lady, written by Penny Parker Klosterman and illustrated by Anne Lambelet.
This tells
an amazing
true story of Nan who used her
pretty much self-taught knowledge.
We do knowledge.
Yeah.
To lend
aid
during World
War
to where spider silk was used in gun
sights.
So
she went through a painstaking practice of trying out different spiders and eventually trying out the silk of a black widow. She separated these strands to get the right thickness in a truly amazing act of resilience and persistence. And I won't ruin much more of the book, but just know it's definitely one you need in your collection, and it really helped the gun sights in World War II. And I wanted to tell you this short story to show you the importance that all living things have on this planet, no matter how small or insignificant or scary you may think it is. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode and want to give one final shout out to Kevin, Kristen, and all the spider people for everything they have done for the hobby and for this world. I have been able to meet some amazing people through this network, and we encourage you again to read up on and donate to the Fox P1 cause. You want us to go? So the next time
you think you'll see that
sleek
black spider with the
fancy
hourglass
marking,
we
implore
you to treat it with love and respect, and not feel fear. And if you hear people
slandering
this species, then maybe you can help spread the good world.
Good. Go ahead, Charlie. It's the end of the episode. What are you going to do?
Becky Beyonce.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
If you have an arthropod you would love to hear about, want to tell us what you think about the show, or found one of our mistakes, send us an email at arthropodadventurespodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on Instagram at arthropod_adventures_podcast and follow us there. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Never stop learning. Show your show notes and never stop learning.
Stay inquisitive.
And never stop learning.
And always check out the show notes. You're right.